Hello and welcome to my science tutorials. In today's video, we want to look at the column addition of 4-digit numbers. So without further ado, let's begin. Right, so let's start by looking at an example. So assume we have 2,421 and we have to add that number to, let's say, 1,154. What is going to be our answer over here? Now, when adding 4-digit numbers, what we have to do is to start adding from our right to left. So we start adding from here to here, which means we start adding from the ones. So the place value here is 1, this is ones, this is tens, this is 100, and this is 1,000. So these are the place values. So we start adding from the ones, then move to the tens, to the 100, and then to the thousands. All right, so let's have a look at how we do the addition. So here we have 1 and 4. 1 plus 4 will give us 5, so we write 5. Then we move to the tens. 2 plus 5 is 7, so we write 7. 4 plus 1 is also 5, we write 5. We bring our comma. 2 plus 1 is 3, so we write our 3. So our answer for adding 2,421 and 1,154 is equal to 3,575. All right, let's have a look at another example. Say we have 4, 7, 8, 9, and we have 3, 8, 7, 4. We have to add these 4-digit numbers. What is going to be our answer over here? Adding from the right to the left, we have 9 and 4. 9 plus 4 is 13. We don't write a 13 over here. No, we don't do that. What we do is that we write down the 3 and then we carry the 1 over here onto the tens value to be added next. So we have 9 plus 3 is 13. We write down 3 and then we carry 1. That one, just write it at the top over here so that you don't forget that you've carried 1 onto the tens. Now we now have 1 plus 8, which is 9, and then 9 plus 7, that will give me 16. So 9 plus 7, which is equal to 16. So we don't write the 16, we write only 6 over here, and then we carry the 1 onto the hundreds, so it comes here. So 1 plus 7, that is 8. 8 plus 8, that is 16. So we write 6 and then we carry 1 onto the thousands. Now we have 1 plus 4, which is 5. 5 plus 3, and that will give me 8. So bringing in my comma, 1, 2, 3, my comma over here. So my answer for adding 4,789 and 3,874 is equal to 8,663. All right, so let's have a look at another example. So assuming we have a question that say find the sum of $4,500 and $2,784. What is going to be our answer? So this is like a practical example. So to do that, we write our first value we're given, that is $4,500, and then we add it to the second set of value, which is 2,784. Now note that the numbers that come after the decimal point here don't really matter. You can choose to ignore them or you can write them, but they don't really matter. So here will be 0, 0 because it's 0 and 0. All right, so let's go ahead and do the addition. We have 0 and 4. 0 plus 4 will give me 4, so I write down my 4 over here. I have 0 and 8. 0 plus 8 will give me 8. I write down 8. Now I have 5 and 7. 5 plus 7 will give me 12. Instead of writing the 12, I write only the 2, and then I carry the 1 onto the next set of digits to be added. So I can bring my comma here. Now I have 1 plus 4, which is 5. 5 plus 2, that is 7. So I bring my dollar sign over here. So it means the sum of $4,500 and $2,784 is equal to $7,284. Alright, so let's have a look at more examples. So, assuming we have 2,845 blocks, and we are to add that to 7,054 blocks. How many blocks are we going to get in total? So to do that, this is plus. We go ahead and add to find the total number of blocks that we will get after adding 2,845 blocks to 7,054 blocks. So to do that, we start by adding the ones digits. So 5 plus 4 will give me 9. 4 plus 5 will also give me 9. 8 plus 0 will give me 8. My comma. 2 and 7 will give me 9. So if I add 2,845 blocks to 7,054 blocks, I will get 9,899 blocks as my answer. Hello and welcome to my science tutorials. In today's video, we want to look at the subtraction of 4-digit numbers. So without further delay, let's begin. Alright, so let's have a look at an example. So we have to find the difference between 1, 6, 7, 5, 4 and 3, 8, 2, 6. Then the second example is 5, 0, 3, 7 and 2, 5, 6, 3. So let's look at these two examples first. So we have 6,754 minus 3,826. So we have to find the difference between these two numbers. So we write them in the column format. So we have 6, 7, 5, 4. I bring my subtraction sign here. Then I write 3, 8, 2, 4 over here. Alright, so before we start, we know that starting from the right to the left, this is our 1, this is our 10, this is our hundreds in terms of place value, our hundreds, and then this is our thousand. Okay, so this is our ones, this is our tens, this is our hundred, and this is our thousand. So to find the difference or to do the subtraction, we need to subtract the ones first, get the result, then we move to the tens, do the subtraction, get the result, then we move to the hundreds, do the subtraction, get the result, and we move to the thousands, do the subtraction, and get the result. Alright, so let's look at what the answer for this particular problem is. Alright, so over here I have 3, 8, 2, here is supposed to be 6. Okay, so let me clean that well and write it well. That is 6 over here. So it is 6 over here. Alright, so we need to do the subtraction. So we have 4 minus 6. It is not possible to subtract a bigger number from a smaller number, so we have to borrow. So we have to borrow from the nearest number, which is from the tens column over. So if I borrow 1 from here, I'll be left with 4 over here. Now that one that I borrow becomes 10. So the 10 now plus this 4 becomes 14. So I have 14 over here at the top. So now I have 14 minus 6. That will give me 8. So I have over here 8. Now remember, I borrowed 1 from here, so I'm left with 4. So 4 minus 2, and that will give me 2 over here. Now I come to the hundreds column. I have 7 here minus 8. As usual, 7 is smaller and 8 is bigger, so we can do the subtraction. So I have to borrow from the thousands over here, which is from the 6 over here. So I borrow 1 from here. I'm left with 5. That one that I borrow is 10 again. So that 10, I bring it to the 7 over here. So 10 plus 7 becomes 17. So here becomes 17 over here. So now I have 17 minus 8, and that will give me 9. So I have 9 over here. So now I have 5 left over here. I have 3 over here. So 5 minus 3, that will give me 2. So my answer over here is 2,928. Alright, let's have a look at our second example. So we have 5,037 minus 2,563. So we do the exact same thing. 5037 minus 2, 5, 6, and 3. Alright, so we do the subtraction over here. 7 minus 3, that will give me 4. So I have 4 over here. 3 minus 6, it is not possible, so I need to borrow. But the 100th term over here is 0. I can't borrow from there, so I have to borrow from the 5 over here. So let's do that. If I borrow 1 from here, I'm left with 4. That one that I borrow is 10. 10 plus 0 is 10, so I have here 10. Now this 10 as well, I have to borrow 1 from here and bring it to the 3 over here. So if I borrow 1 from here, I'm left with 9. That one that I borrowed from here is 10 again. So that 10 plus 3 will give me 13. So I have 13 over here. So 13 minus 6, that will give me 7. Now I have 9 over here left. So 9 minus 5, that will give me 4. I have 4 left at the top over here. 4 minus 2, that will give me 2. Alright, let's have a look at more examples. So we have example number 3. 8,233 minus 4,528. Example number 4. We have 3,586 minus 679. Let's look at that. So example number 3, we have here 8,233 minus 4,528. Alright, so we start with the subtraction. 3 minus 8 is not possible, so I need to borrow. In terms of borrowing, I borrow from the next number after the 3 over here. So I borrow from here, so I'm left with 2. That one that I borrowed from here, and that gave me 2 left, that one is 10. 10 plus 3 will give me 13, so here becomes 13. So I have 13 minus 8, and that will give me 5. So I have 5 left over here. Now under the tens column, I'm left with 2. So 2 minus 2 will give me a 0. I come to the hundreds column. I have 2 here minus 5. It is not possible. So I borrow 1 from here. I'm left with 7. That one, I add it. It is now 10. I add it to the 2 over here. It becomes 12. So now I have 12 minus 5. And that will give me 7. So I have 7 over here. So I'm left with 7 at the top over here. 7 minus 4, and that will give me 3. So my final answer is 3,705. Let's look at the fourth example. We have 3,586 minus 679. Now if you look at it, this, the first number is in thousands, and then the second number is in hundred. Note that I did not write it like this 3586 and then wrote here 7679. I did not do that, because if you do it like this, it means you've misplaced the place values and you get your answer to be wrong. So you make sure that it starts from the back. So start from the, make sure you write it. If it is 3 digits, make sure it is 3 digits. This is ones, 1 should be under ones, 10 should be under tens, and 100 should be under hundreds. All right, so let's ignore this for now. Let's look at our solution to this problem. So I have 6 here minus 9. It is not possible, so I borrow 1 from here. I'm left with 7 as usual. That one that I borrowed is 10 plus 6 is now 16. So 16 minus 9, that will give me 7. So I have 7 left over here. So coming to the tens column, I have 7 minus 7, that will give me a 0. Now I have 5 minus 6. It is not possible, so I borrow 1 from here. I'm left with 2. That 1 is 10 plus this 5 becomes 15. So I have 15 minus 6. 15 minus 6, that will give me 9. So I have 9 over here, and I'm only left with 2 over here. Since there's no number here, it means it's 0. So 2 minus 0 will give me 2 as my answer. So this becomes the final answer after subtracting 3,586 and 679. So thank you so much for watching. This is how we subtract 4-digit numbers, and this is how we do the borrowing. You borrow from the next number, it becomes 10, you add it to the previous number to increase it before you do the subtraction, and then you make sure once you borrow from a particular number, it has to decrease by 1 in that particular column. Then when you're moving it to the next column, you make sure it becomes 10 and you add it to the previous number. So thank you once again for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.